Well, welcome back, YouTubers and fellow toy train buffs, to a small update here on the edge of town and a short running session. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, I've been wanting to do a video for the last couple of weeks, but I've been busy with other things. Let me show you, first of all. Try to squeeze through here. I don't want you to see the rest of the cave. It's almost to where it's a super fun site. Okay. Remember just a few short weeks ago, this was the Halloween layout. Now, it's an encapsulated version of the Battle of Gettysburg. I did that just for the heck of it. I've got the space. I've been... let me get the box. Of course, everything's falling over now. Alright. So, I've had this Gettysburg playset for some years now. It's from Americana Souvenirs and Gifts. Those are the people who took over BMC in a kind of a force play back in the day. BMC stands for Bill McMaster, the late Bill McMaster. The firm is up and running again under license. Americana Souvenirs and Gifts, I believe, is still up and running. But anyway, here's what happened. I've been wanting to play with the set for some time. I took it out, put the pieces on, which included Lee's headquarters, Meade's headquarters. There were 8 of these types of cannon and 2 of these limbers and 64 figures. 32 Union, 32 Confederate. And I set it up and took pictures, but I tell you what, this may only be a 44 by 70 inch space here, but those 64 figures weren't enough to flesh this out. They looked really kind of lost in a sea of nothingness. So I went to one of my tote bins with Civil War figures and just pulled out a whole bunch of stuff from TSSD, Tempo, Armies in Plastic, what have you. I never even touched my Marx stuff. I had enough. So right now there's about 160-ish figures. What we have here is, like I said, this is Lee's headquarters. A very short, or I should say very small representation of Little Round Top. Then the Devil's Den. This is not the Sunken Road. The Sunken Road in Civil War lore is associated with Antietam. This is just, the Gettysburg area. The town and the area was crisscrossed with roads, so this is just a road. That is perhaps the wheat field. That was, Cemetery Ridge. Meade's headquarters. Alright. And that's what I was doing. I took down the Halloween layout, put up this, and goofing around with it. Let me show you something else I've been doing. The last couple weeks, my 6-year-old granddaughter has decided that she wanted to be Opa's girl, and she has glued herself to my hips. And it has been very hard to get out here and do anything. Yeah, I did do the Gettysburg setup, but it took me this long to mess with the trains. Show you what we've been doing. She is on a paper squishy kick. So here's one I made, Kit Kat bars, paper squishies. And I gotta tell you, after about 3 or 4 weeks of doing paper squishies, I'm running out of ideas. I don't know what to do anymore. So, okay, that's what I've been doing. I did manage to squeeze out a little bit of time to more or less finish this project I've been working on. This started life as pieces of junk that I bought years ago. Scrap flat car, a crane missing a bunch of parts. And what I did, let's see if I can put it on here. I'm having a hard time trying to hold on to things and explain things. So here's what I did. It was missing, and I think I showed you this on a previous layout, but it was missing the head frame up here, so I scratch built that. I managed just about 6 weeks ago to get another junker crane and get this hoist mechanism, and I shortened the boom, attached the stay wires, and I put a bushing underneath this thing under the spindle, so it rotates and it doesn't tip over. Let me see. The hook is a Marx hook. See, it does work quite well. Alright, it's a Marx hook, which is slightly smaller in profile than a Lionel hook. The Lionel hooks are big and klutzy, and this fit just fine. I weathered it. I'm kind of not happy with the cab weathering, and I meant for it to be a rough, tough, scruffy looking, almost ready for the scrapyard torch kind of affair. All right, and I think what I might try is some pastel chalks and see if they work. I haven't used that technique in a long time. So anyway, that is now in place of the old Lionel manual barrel loader. Okay, so on to the running session. Maybe a little background first. When I started rejuvenating this layout, I started going for this small town Northwoods kind of theme. I was kind of everything was a shot in the dark. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I had no real direction. And then I said, well, why don't I pay homage to some of the things I I recognized or knew in Wisconsin. So I picked this little lake here, which in reality would be a lot larger. This would probably be an inlet with a couple of cabins around it, going underneath the bridge to the wider or bigger lake beyond. And I called it Deercrest Lake. Why? Because I've got literally just a few photos taken at my late sister's house on the shores of Deercrest Lake. So, okay, nice name for it. Then, another homage, Deercrest Fruit Ranch. The Fruit Ranch was an actual store in Milwaukee, and so I just named this this roadside stand. I just named it the Deercrest Fruit Ranch. Then we have the homage to my dad's tavern that he owned, operated in the mid to late 40s, Ed's Tap. So in that regards, things were sort of coming together as to the locale. All right. Now Deercrest Lake was in the Shawano area. Now Shawano is a town today of about 9 or 10,000. approximately 30 miles due west of Green Bay. So now I'm getting a feel for the locale in the area that my fictional railroad is running in. Those familiar with that area may have heard names like Black Creek, Bonduel, Cecil, Nina Menasha, Kashina. And these are all towns that I can pull from, along, of course, with Shawano. These are all towns I can pull from to flesh out a fake history for my railroad, as it were. That being said, I went ahead and bought this beautiful Lionel Wisconsin Central Highball freight set from, I think it was 2006. Now, folks, I'm here to smell you. I am no railroad historian. In my mind, I thought, hey, Wisconsin Central must have been one of those railroads that took over for the Milwaukee Road when it went bankrupt. Boy, I couldn't be more wrong. It turns out the Wisconsin Central history dates all the way back to, I believe, 1871, when it was granted a charter by the state of Wisconsin. It was called, I believe, don't quote me on this, the Wisconsin Central Railway Company. After filing for bankruptcy, it got out of receivership in about 1955 and became the Wisconsin Central Railroad. Well, hard times come and go, and it came again. But to make a long story short, today it is still an operating layout. It is still an operating railroad. It is a division of the Canadian National with headquarters in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. And guess what? It goes from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, all the way north to Shawano. All right? Now, I haven't checked to see whether it services Black Creek, Bonduel. I'm pretty sure it doesn't service Cecil. Cecil is like a, only got a few people in it. I know, because my sister's one of them, my other sister. That area would be known for farm products, dairy products, wood. The biggest single employer that I'm aware of in Shawano is the paper mill. I'm aware of that because my brother-in-law retired as a superintendent out of the Shawano paper mill, and we were fortunate, Bettina and I, to have a tour of the facility. Really cool. So anyway, the Wisconsin Central Limited is the modern incarnation of the Wisconsin Central, owned now as a division of the Canadian National. All right. So that means historically, this engine and tender wouldn't be correct. And probably not the caboose either, because of end of train devices. So now I need to read up some more on the railroad, but there you have it in a nutshell. Down to the Lionel version. Has a 442 Atlantic, and guys, I am here to smell you. I love Lionel's Atlantics, and I'm getting more and more of them, either in sets or separate purchase. A lot of people call the Lionel Hudson the workhorse, but I'm kind of thinking that the 442 was probably in more sets than the Hudson was. Not taking away from the Hudson. Gorgeous locomotive. But if you want a true workhorse, that puppy is it right there, the 442. Now, this version of it has a nice satin black finish with a, I would guess, gunmetal gray smoke box there. Has Lionel's big tender versus its slope back. The tender itself has the traditional whistle in it, okay? And then, let's see, here we go. We have the standard O or O-27 boxcar, Wisconsin Central. The gondola with 4 canisters. Hey, guys, I know Lionel started using these things like, what, in the 50s? Or was it even earlier in the 40s? What the heck came in these things? You know, motor oil, milk, I don't know, perfume. You know, if these were based on a prototypical load for flat cars, what was in them? I don't know. See these all the time. Have no clue what they held. Okay. And then we got unlighted Wisconsin Central Limited caboose. All right. There's our train. They do have expansion packs. Oh, I gotta show you something. The set came with a 40 by 60 inch oval of Fast Track. This is the first time I've ever had Fast Track like in my hands. I see it on videos, I see it in photos all the time. And now I know that this type of track wouldn't be appropriate for this layout. Why? You know, I kind of harp on proportions. This stuff here is wider. The ties extend out further from outside the rails. And then, of course, there is the roadbed, which extends even further. Plus, it's quite high. Yes, it's prototypical. I know that. I've seen photos of roadbed. I know. I mean, and I pass railroads all the time. But this is still a toy train layout. Nicely detailed one, I think, but still a toy train layout. Okay. I like the Marx track. I like its lower profile. It's not as wide. And as long as trains run on it, I'm good to go. Oh, one more thing. Coolness. Engineer and fireman in the cab. Beautiful details. I like. This, haven't got around to doing anything with yet. They're just work in progress. Alrighty. Let's watch this train run. Trying to find the sweet spot on the transformer. Okay, let's toot the whistle. It smokes, has a headlight. I don't know if I can see the smoke from here. It may not show up too good in the video. And I can smell it. Come on, come on, come on. Get past that. There you go. Get past it. I think I can. It's doing it. Slowly but surely. Yeah. Like I said, the Lionel 442 has become my very best favorite locomotive in their roster. That was smoking pretty good now. Okay, let's bring her on home. All right, after thorough testing, I know that this engine will not make it through the diversion track on that switch. Now, yeah, all right, there you have it. So, old news. Okay. That's it. That's our Wisconsin Central Limited, what is it? No, Wisconsin Central Highball freight set from Lionel, set number 6-30059. I thank you to all the new subscribers. Hit like, subscribe if you haven't, comment if you want to, and we'll see you next time. Tschüss, adieu, auf Wiedersehen. Bye, y'all.